other sandwiches. It's a quote from our favorite show. Finish each other sandwiches. So now we claim it for our own. We always think the same. So for now, that's the name.
Feels. So anyway, yeah, that's sort of like the introduction to the beginning of our trip, and we thought that it would be fun if we talked a little bit about our trip. Talked a little bit about our trip through our pictures that we took, and you can follow along on the podcast page if you want to get the visual with the audio, the A and V. You know,
little A and V for you.
Little A and V for your E's.
For your ears.
For your ears.
Take a little R&R.
That's just audio.
Sit on your RC.
Sit on your LB, your recliner chair.
I said recliner chair.
I said lazy
boy. Yeah.
I was using the name brand. Please don't sue us.
That's all right.
So let's go ahead and start with picture
so
one.
We're just gonna go right into it, and I'll put like a time frame up there, and then you could either follow along, or I might even make a short video of just us kind of commenting on the pictures. I feel like that would be kind of cool.
That'd be easy.
All right, so we're gonna start off. So the first stop we make, I mean, basically what we wanted to do is get out of Colorado and right up into Wyoming,
because that's the only way to get to any other state.
So we stopped at Cracker Barrel, but that was really the only thing inside Colorado that we actually did. This whole trip was done in the other 3 states. Really 2. Nebraska didn't really count, except for cows. So the first place we go, as soon as we drive out of Colorado, the first thing we see driving into Wyoming is this big old sign of a bison.
Mm-hmm. And it was like a silhouette of a bison up on the hill. You have to do a double take. You're like, is that a bison? Oh, that's a sign because we're in Wyoming.
Right. And it's like, oh, that's a bison. Cool. Awesome. We're going to see so many bison. Wyoming's like the home of the bison. And then
little did we know that when we first
very next thing we did was see camels.
Right.
That was the very first animal we saw. Camels.
No bison.
And it was so funny because like we're just like, first of all, why are there camels? Second of all, that was the only time we saw camels in the entire trip.
Right.
For some reason, that just as that Colorado-Wyoming border is camel fucking country.
Camel country, not the one that you've seen in cigarette commercials, like
right.
camel country.
They were all Joe, and they were all smoking.
They all had leather jackets.
Yeah.
No, there was
really
like
cool.
this like field of like camels. We're like, we just drove into the state, and there was like this little sequestered area with like camels, just like a bunch of them. And we were like, what are those camels? And then we drove through the rest of the state. Not a single Campbell. Not a single Campbell.
Not a single Campbell soup can to be seen. On this trip. Like I didn't get one tomato soup.
No tomato soup, no chicken and stars. So yeah.
So next picture is basically just the nothingness of Nebraska and Wyoming. Basically, it was kind of on the border of the two. I think it was just as we were crossing over into Nebraska from Wyoming. And it's just nothing. There's just a whole
I thought that it was beautiful.
There's half sky, half ground. Mostly grass.
Depending on how tall you are.
Mostly grass and barns and stuff like that. But it's kind of cool because like you step out of your city, and I mean anywhere in Colorado east of Denver is going to look like this. It's just nothingness. Mm-hmm. But of course it's tranquil. It's beautiful, and there's a lot to be felt in these places more than seen.
And I think, and it smells nice, like with all like the fresh grass and flowers and things like that. And I liked it. I just liked the possibility and the emptiness and the undisturbed part of a field. I know that there's not much to see, but that's the point.
Right.
That there's not a lot going on.
But of course, whenever we're driving, I'm always just like, oh, look, your favorite thing, fucking nothing. You love that shit.
And our ongoing joke pretty much through Nebraska was like, they have the slogan underneath the name when you drive into the state. And it was like, welcome to Nebraska. We don't have camels. Stop asking.
Stop asking.
Stop asking.
We saw the cows, and then, of course, every time we passed, they kind of feel like, are those camels? Are those camels?
Those camels?
No. You saw camels once. Get over it.
You're not getting any more camels. How many camels do you expect to see on this trip?
Nebraska. We don't have camels. Stop asking.
Stop asking.
More just picture. The next picture is just the road and the nothing. It's beautiful. It really is. It's
Isn't
nice.
It? Look at all that sky and.
But it really is. It's nothing.
Can you think about how these roads were made and like who had to go through the state and build all these little roads in the middle of nowhere? Wyoming has the largest roads that I've seen before that aren't multiple lanes, super wide lanes.
Oh yeah, they were.
Remember?
Wide. But like basically, these roads. This is like a nice road for most of the trip that we were on. Was like dirt roads, back roads.
Yeah.
I mean, just like real desolate areas with not a whole lot going on.
Pretty much.
I mean, this next picture is basically just a panorama of the place we had to stop and get gas because
The only
it was
place.
the only place to stop and get gas, and it was literally this teeny tiny 2-pump like gas station that was, I mean, had the whole old school like clicky,
Basically like on the
numbers
trust
and
system,
stuff.
like make sure you pay, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy to see such a bizarre
Small towns.
town,
And
yeah.
everyone was kind of like playing in each other's yard, and there was like one church, one school, you know.
Yeah, and then we just got another one of just nothing, fields and sky. So we get to the Badlands after we dropped off the donations to the Indian reservation.
The sun was starting to set.
We were like, all right, let's keep going. We get up to the Badlands, and it was just as the sun was setting. So we had a picture or two of basically the what are those called? Are those bluffs? No.
No, not the bluffs. Well, this is just like the sandstone and things like that.
It's just like
The actual Badlands.
but they're all carved out of. Is that the one that's carved out of water or wind?
No, these are carved out of water. And then
Okay.
like the parts that like are breaking off of it and stuff are caused by the wind. But so basically the Badlands were underneath a shallow sea that was like the Midwest, like around the continental divide. And so these places used to be underwater. And if you look at it, you think it like kind of looks like a coral reef or like a reef system.
That's right. It was underwater.
Right.
It's
Mostly
pretty cool.
the arches were made a lot out of the wind.
Right.
Badlands were a lot of water and also wind, but mostly water.
It was like, yeah, built up from the water. Every time you see that, go to the national parks, we always try to see like the little video that explains the park. And then which they use a lot of interesting fonts.
Interesting
like
font that
papyrus.
we're too familiar with.
We couldn't pick out. I was like, what is that? Chiller?
What is that? Bradley hand?
Was that Lucen script writing?
Lucinda Unicode. Anyway.
So the next one's just a big old pano of the Badlands and just like the really jagged rocks that are
Oh, yeah.
all coming out from behind the sun, and then just the canyon basically
It's
that
like
was
alien-like.
that was built out of the water, like you
Built
said.
by the earth for the earth.
Quick shot of the sunset here.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous.
Then this one was just basically our campsite, which
Campsite.
we stayed at
For one night.
That was the first night. And we got to see a star talk. So somebody like
It wasn't a star that could talk. It was a person who was talking about stars.
He was like, "Hey guys,
"Hey guys, I'm
And he
Sylvester the Star." He's like
flew in.
zapping
Ew,
around.
not Sylvester the Star.
But
That's
then
a
like he
terrible
explodes
name.
because it's a star. That's he's like, ah!
Yeah, he's like, I'm
Oh.
getting real hot, guys.
You guys,
It's like when
it's hot
Frosty
here.
melts in Frosty the Snowman. He's just like, guys, he's like wiping sweat off his
Please.
face. He's about to supernova.
And Carl Sagan is like, turn your eyes.
Please don't watch this star
Please
die.
don't watch it. He's just a
a
child.
very slow death.
Yeah. You can.
Next one is when we're hiking.
Before I
and
died.
it gets real wild in the back areas where you start hiking
Mm-hmm.
to see just like the dry South Dakota sun just like eating away at this rock.
Oh my gosh.
And
It's
like,
cracking because of the dryness.
It's
and
cool
the
because
heat.
it really does look like coral reef, and it's like you're walking around in what was once underwater, and now
Mm-hmm.
you're getting to hike on it and see it, millions of years later, breathing air, not like a fish.
Because you're not a fish. You can't live
I'm
underwater.
not a fish. I'm not walking
But,
around. I don't have legs.
A lot of these trails were really wild because a lot of them involved you pretty much climbing like directly upward.
Yeah.
And one of them was like this, like
Well,
you
the
see.
next one here is the ladder that we had to literally climb up a ladder. That was the only way up
Directly vertical.
to get to the next part of the trail. Mm-hmm. It was
It was a very hot day,
a hot day. She was getting like heat exhaustion, and
which
we were
I
just,
don't get usually.
We were just kind of trying to trudge through it with our water. Just
a
more
lot.
shots of just the alien-like land. Whereas as you're walking through, it feels like you're on the set of like either an old Star Trek episode or just
like an old sci-fi movie.
yeah, just something low budget, something sci-fi.
And that's what drew me to it was so alien, and I had no idea that this was in South Dakota. I saw pictures and I thought it was in like the Southwest,
Yeah,
and it's in the middle of South Dakota.
and it's so close to where comparatively to everything else, it's very close to where we live.
Exactly.
And so like it's one of the besides all the ones that are actually in Colorado, it's one of the closer national parks. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to check it out. And the
Right.
next one, just canyons, and then we got to the top of our trip on this one.
On
this picture here.
right. Oh, so this was the
top of the trail that we
Right.
took that day.
Right.
And it's an overlook of the land outside of the canyon.
It was the Notch Trail.
Yeah.
And this was the one that looked over the whole prairie.
Yeah.
And you could see like the beginning of like it's not, they're bluffs. That's what they are.
That's what's
they're
out
not,
there.
They're not buttes. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I knew it started with a B. I knew it was an S though.
Butts.
Bullets. Wait, now I can't remember the place that we stayed where he kept making the joke about butt loop. I can't remember now.
I don't know
why I brought it up.
This was another part of the top of the trail where it like went out into a loop.
The prairie.
But I thought this was such a cool like feeling of like, this felt like I was maybe if it was all red and there wasn't grass, like I'd feel like there was more. It would be like on the surface of Mars.
Mars, right? No, it does. It looks like that, and the cloud looks crazy back there too.
This next one's, I mean, just rolling, jagged like rocks. The formations were just like amazing.
And in the middle of this wild, vast open field area, it's
you
just
could just see
so
the layers
odd.
of time, which is really cool. And here's another one that's got the colors.
These are the salt fields.
Yes. So it's got the colors of the salts and stuff. So you could really see the defined lines.
The layers of time. And
Yeah.
that's not just, that's a real thing. It's crazy. I was like so quickly intrigued by like the geology of this place. And usually I'm like, that's cool, you know?
Yeah. This next one's our bison friend.
Oh, yeah. He was in our campground. The last night we stayed at a primitive campground full of mosquitoes.
Look at his little bison dick.
His little bison pee-pee. We can make another picture of the close-up cropped version of the bison
Look
penis.
at his little bison pee-pee.
Look at his little bison
It's the same
penis.
size as his tail. So it's like big feet kind of thing, but
She's
with
like
bison.
big tail, big dick.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like not big tail. It's like whatever the size is. Because his tail looks small compared to his body.
Right.
But I mean, if you were thinking like, well, that's also the size of his junk.
Right. That's pretty relative.
Pretty relative.
Yeah, right. It has to match up. Like your hand is usually the size of your face. The tail is usually the size of your dick.
There was another trail at the end of this campground that we walked up and got destroyed by mosquitoes.
Yes.
And we looked back and saw our little like campground circle and our bison friend hanging out.
Our bison friend had climbed up the hill with us.
Right.
And he was just laying there and rolling around in the dirt. He was so cute.
Another one of the open sky and the never ending road. But it's not like, it's never ending. It's like,
it's so much space.
It's just crazy to be driving and just see, literally don't know, you can't see your destination. You don't see there's nothing on the horizon.
Isn't that awesome? That's my favorite part.
I mean, it looks like it literally goes on into infinity.
This is like the picture you have to draw in art class to learn about perspective.
So this is where it gets good, guys. This is the Storybook Island. We found this in Rapid City.
Yes.
It was created by some guy.
Some old man, which in theory
It's a
sounds
sweet
really
idea.
Sweet. But then you're kind of like, I need to go home and take a shower.
Yeah,
like,
it's a sweet idea, but basically,
it's cute.
let's take a journey on
go
Storybook
with
Island, where it's basically a park that was created by a guy that kind of just took all these books that he read as a
And
kid
movies.
and like made statues and like
Little
pictures
play areas
and
and-
little areas, and there's no rides. It's more just kind of like
like a walk-through playground that you can
playground.
go through.
Yeah. So let's go.
Okay.
This is the first guy.
First guy you see immediately when you walk in is the bridge troll.
It's this troll. But the best is, look what my hand is pointing. What the hell is he holding? That's his own flesh color. And it's like
They didn't have any other
curved
and
and bent.
Yeah.
And right? Like
Directly
there's no
in
other
his
colors.
hand. It's like a weird like corkscrew crowbar that's also coincidentally
And what
the
is he?
same
He's
color.
a troll. I mean, like,
and he's missing his thumb. I guess somebody took off his thumb, but
don't break these guys.
No,
They're not,
don't be
they're not
mean.
trying to be.
But
they're just gonna literally give you nightmares.
we
the
just
rest
still
of your
have
life.
questions about what he's actually holding in his hand.
Next one, Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty.
Being terrifying beyond
know,
belief. To
He's
the
gonna
point
fall on top of you.
Where I feel like I don't want to stay on this too long because I'm afraid for my
He looks
life.
pretty scared, but yet I've only just begun to enter into this
Look
playground.
at his face; it's terrifying.
His tongue is sticking out. Does that mean he eats?
I
Like
got
I
this
don't
goofy
understand.
Thomas the Train, which was, I mean, amateurly drawn. I don't want to say
Thomas
terribly.
doesn't have teeth. I don't know why he
I
has like a
don't
full
know.
set of like huge
and his
teeth.
nose is a button.
Yeah.
Like it's
He looks like he has
I
ears.
could push in his nose and like I don't know.
That's what makes the sound.
That's what'll start
Yeah.
the train.
No, the perspective. My picture has better perspective than this drawing.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. Let's go on. Crocodile from
From
What is
that
it?
game where you smack his head.
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be from Little Mermaid.
Oh no, it's from Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, that's
Yeah,
right. Peter
where he
Pan.
has the clock inside
yes,
his mouth.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
it is.
yes. You're right. But it's again amateurly done.
He's like, ah!
you look at how like it looks like paper mache.
I know.
And it's like, let's put this paper mache thing
Yeah.
in the water and let it rot.
Let it just sit here.
This is a pano you tried to take of Three Little Pigs and just chopped all their heads off.
It was impossible.
Even the one that's upside down, you chopped his head off too. You somehow chopped all their heads off.
No, that was really hard to do.
You did what the wolf tried to do
Yeah.
the first time around.
I took all their heads off.
Three, just sobbing kittens.
Look at like their faces. Like they look so. His
They're-
like mouth is hanging open.
They saw something horrifying. Like they saw their mother just killed
Yeah.
in front of their eyes.
They just found out that Big Bird died in the Challenger.
right.
And they're just
That's
crying.
and like these mittens that are coming in, they look like they're attached to a hand.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be taking these kittens away. Like they just found out. They're like, hey, we're gonna take you to a slaughterhouse.
You're gonna be made into dog food, and then like these weird like third dimension mittens are like just like floating in the background, and the cats are like, "What's happening?"
They're so sad.
I know.
Three kittens mittens.
Aw. Oh, God.
Horrifying. What's his name from Winnie
I
the
think
Pooh?
Was this Christopher Robin?
Yes,
Okay,
it was.
Christopher Robin.
It's Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
That looks more like Christopher Walken than Christopher Robin.
You're right.
That does. I know that
They're
was
both
a slip of the tongue.
verbs.
But also he looks fucking high as shit.
He's like leaning forward. He's like, I feel so stoned. All my fucking animals are talking to me. I don't know what's going on.
I just want some honey, man.
He's like, I'm just really hungry. My mom hasn't been home for a few hours.
where is his mom ever?
No, exactly. He's like, I've been talking about these.
I've been
these
talking to
bears.
this bear.
Yeah.
Which here he
it's-
is.
Yeah, this
Winnie
is.
the Pooh.
He looks cute.
He is kind of cute. He
Pooh.
looks slightly worried, but he's all right.
He's a little misproportioned.
Here's Raggedy
here's
Ann.
Raggedy Andy, and which is already scary.
How do you
in
know which
general.
one's Ann and Andy?
Well, Anne is the girl wearing the dress, and Andy is the boy wearing the pants.
Oh, okay. All right. Next up is creepy
Serpent guy.
serpent guy.
He was like
He has
a
a
snake.
hat.
He was not explained. He wasn't
No.
correlating with any kind of story.
No, I
but
didn't know what his
He has
deal
like a
was.
weird hat on, and then like these deep eyelids, these like deep Steve Buscemi eyelids, these weird
And his little
sideways
hat.
like shark eyes.
I guess he's not so bad.
No, he's
Let's
cute.
move on.
Oh,
Ew.
God.
Oh God! So this is the
the
gross
tugboat.
guy. Ew! Look at his face.
His flat nose.
Oh, so he's like just the front of the tugboat, right?
Which could just be a face, but no, they gave him like wrinkles and eyebrows and shit like that. Like
Wrinkles.
just make two dots and a mouth.
Yeah, he's
like,
seen the test of time.
Yeah.
Like
He's like, I'm an old tugboat. Like, why do you have to give him age? Oh God,
this is Toto.
Toto.
Weathered.
What?
Weathered Toto.
Weathered by the tornadoes.
Right, he went through the tornado.
Yeah,
This
so
is the
he's weathered.
aftermath. This is like if the tornado actually hit and like killed everybody, but he like made it
He
out
survived
alive.
because the dog always survives, and he
Yeah.
found his way home. And they did like an AOL article about it. Like this
AOL
is. He's
He
like,
did a Reddit AMA.
they're like,
He did.
dog walked 60 miles to return to Kansas home.
Oh yes, my favorite one, the cowardly lie, and his super buck teeth,
So like,
and his eyes
No.
that are way too far apart.
he looks like he has like the fake teeth put in that like
I
people
know.
in movies have to wear. Like Rob Lowe in that weird
His
movie.
eyebrows that are the same color as his flesh.
Yeah, his eyebrows that are basically just skin.
Raised skin.
And then like that's the thing, like you can see that these are really detailed, but there's like just something missing, you know?
Right. That's my favorite one, I think. Then let's continue the
This is-
Wizard of Oz. Here's
Dorothy.
and her gross big cheeks and
Super
fucking
huge cheeks.
weird eyes and
Yeah.
forehead, and then
And then blackface Tin Man.
blackface Tin Man.
With a bow tie that he never. Well, maybe he
he
did have a
is
bow tie.
shocked and appalled and very racist.
His eyes, they didn't even bother to make his eyes a different color.
And then they made the Scarecrow like
With a beard.
real brown,
Yeah. Big lips.
with like the neck Amish beard
Yeah.
and blonde eyebrows.
Did he have hair? He was made of straw. Why would he have the same kind of eyebrows?
And this is a big shot
Oh
of
yeah,
them all
there's the witch.
together.
You couldn't really
The
see
witch
her
at
face.
the top, Wizard of Oz. I mean, this is how it continues. You got a creepy
The
lamb
sheep,
with
yeah.
that stares into your soul
Yeah.
with little Bo
The
Peep
nebulous eyes.
that just seems like, just
dehydrated.
stared
She's
into
just
nowhere.
tired. Yeah.
Like I feel like all of these statues have the exact opposite effect of the Mona Lisa, like where you feel
Yeah.
like their eyes are always following you, but in these, every single one of them,
It's
you
too
can't
distant.
make them make
Yeah.
eye contact. Even if you stare them dead in the eyes,
Right.
they're looking slightly away.
It's like unsettling. Actually, I feel like Little Bo Peep is like, this is the cover of like the National Geographic where that woman is like looking off into the Dust Bowl. She's like, my God, how am I gonna feed my children this winter?
My God!
My
How can I
God.
feed my children? King, do you know how the Dust Bowl works?
Dang it, Meemaw, you put me in the Dust Bowl.
Moving on.
Keep going.
Oh God, what was that?
That was Aladdin.
Ew, that's Aladdin?
I know. I tried to get different
That's
angles.
horrifying.
So also he has-
It looks like a black woman,
I know.
and she's concerned. She just saw something very concerning.
She's like, no, I can't do it. Go ahead, next picture.
All right.
Oh, and the seven dwarves,
the dwarves.
which are all the same dwarf. They just have different colors.
Well, no, two of them have the same.
That's
but
right.
This guy's scared and
This is
his
Doc.
big old eyes. And then this is Sneezy, but he looks like he's definitely sleepy.
But like he
And
has a
then
tissue.
Here's the bunny with the crooked eyes.
The bunny with the crooked eyes, but I forgot what he was a part of. Oh, he was Peter Rabbit.
No, I think he was one of the rabbits in Snow White. That was when we walked
Oh,
through the
you're
thing.
right. Okay, you're right.
And look at his crooked eyes.
His crooked eyes and his like weirdly buff arms.
Then there's this guy.
Grumpy.
He's Winky. You know,
Maybe,
remember
you know,
Winky?
you're Winky.
Remember Winky?
You got Sneezy and Blinky and Winky and Stinky. No. Oh no.
Bashful, I think. But he definitely looks like he's like looking down at somebody else's junk.
Also, his mouth is like
Ew,
way too
yeah,
big.
it's gross.
He's like, mm.
This guy's falling over. That's
That's-
Folly.
That's who? Folly.
Folly.
That's old Trippy over there.
That's old Trips McGee.
Trips McGee.
And then this is the guy that's exactly like the Sleepy.
He just
so it's
isn't holding a
Sleepy and
tissue.
Sneezy were literally the exact same mold, but all they did was add a tissue
Yeah.
to Sneezy.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Dopey. And then this guy, which
No explanation.
I don't know what he's from. I don't know if it's Puff the Magic Dragon,
I wish it was.
but it's terrifying.
This
It literally
terrifying,
looks like, again, it's made of paper mache. The eyes, I mean, you couldn't be more crooked.
You know those like water crayons that you can draw on paper with that are like kind of fuzzy? Like that's how his colors look, and his eyes are crooked.
And instead of it looking, I mean, I guess that's supposed to be a tongue, but it just looks like one giant tooth coming down.
He's like, ew.
But it's like not even buck teeth. It's
No, but, like-
one sharp tooth coming straight.
He doesn't have a lot of teeth. He just has one really big one.
And
But
let's
then
get-
like the lines on his lips.
Let's
like,
get a wide shot here.
Oh,
yeah, there he
yeah.
is with his tube arms
I know.
and his canes. Like, what was his purpose?
It's like he has like the amputee, like he has like prosthetic hands.
Yeah.
Like the little hook clamps. No, I don't know. It's no explanation.
Weird gingerbread
Gingerbread
man
guy
with his soulless
with
black
his honey
eyes.
boo boo face where he's like, mm-hmm.
And then Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill.
fell down and hit his eye.
His eye.
Which, so then he didn't get any pie. And then he died.
Because he's cried. Then he died. You know, the story goes.
You know that commercial, that really sad one where the kid's like, "I'll never grow up because I died.
Because I
Because I
died.
drowned." That's Jack.
It's
Jack
inspired by Jack and Jill.
because he I never made it. I never got that pail of water
Mm-hmm.
because I died.
I'll never fall down that hill because I died. Wait, I thought that's how you died. I don't understand.
Oh,
God.
Jack and the Beanstalk. He looks like claymation, but like terrible claymation,
He looks
like Robot Chicken.
like
Bad claymation.
really bad claymation. He's also wearing like a blue life vest as overalls.
Then of course the giant
The giant who's like, go
with his buck teeth and his like
his
bowl
like
haircut.
bowling. Yeah, his bowling haircut.
I mean nothing. I mean that is straight up looks like claymation.
no, it does. It looks pretty awful. And then there's the
There's a whole
beanstalk.
beanstalk there.
Oh gosh, I think the owl looks cute.
Yeah, he's
but I
not too
don't
bad.
understand how he's standing.
The
he's
owl from Bambi has super muscular legs.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. He looks like he's got super buff legs. He's like,
he looks like he's
"Don't
John
fuck
Cena
with
when he's
me."
like
Yeah.
like stand. He's like hoot 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 hoot.
No. Then the angry sheep.
The weird angry sheep. But yeah.
He looks pretty furious.
Oh God, the pig. He's like, oh. So all he is, there's no story or explanation around him. There's just a slot in the middle of his stomach, which presumably I guess you put money in. I don't know that or like pictures.
He's one of the three little pigs.
But there weren't two other pigs.
That's true.
And he was just standing there, and he
He
has
is
buck
goofy
teeth and
looking.
like a sordid face, and he's like, y'all hear some? He's like talking to my face. I promise it's not a camera.
Ew.
Ew, I know.
Little Mermaid was the
Little
next one with
Mermaid.
her really crooked eyes.
With
Again,
her
they
weird
just had
fetal alcohol
no
poisoning face.
idea how to make eyes. Everything was just like shot in the dark.
Whose eyebrows go in that direction?
She looks concerned.
I know.
And then,
Oh,
of course,
God, yes.
the original sponsor being Richard Dickham.
Yeah.
He prefers Dick so that he could be Dickham at
He's
all
like,
times.
yeah. He's like, oh, hey, Mr. Ham. He's like, no, call me Dick. And they're
Call
like,
me Dick.
can I not call
Can
you
I
that?
please not call you
Can
that?
I please not call you that?
Call me Dickham.
Call me Dick Ham.
Please don't call me
And then
Dickham.
somebody's like, oh, you Dick Ham. He's like, that's me.
That's me, Dickham.
Dick Ham.
Gross Frosty the Snowman.
Lumpy
is
Frosty the
extra
Snowman.
lumpy.
Yeah.
Extra lumpy. He looks like he's made of mashed potatoes,
And
not
his-
snow.
And the carrot is like extremely withered.
It
Like
is.
he's like he needs a new nose.
He needs to do everything.
Yeah.
But his broomstick is immaculate.
Yeah, his broomstick is in his scarf. He's like scarf and broom on point.
I guess he's
like
melting and his carrot's getting old. Like, he's seen a few days now.
Yeah.
The carrot's gotten cold.
There hasn't
It's-
been a lot of snow,
And he's getting yeah.
but he's accepting it. Oh, I didn't know you took a picture of that.
We went go-karting. We saw Blockbuster. We'll get into all that. Went to the Wind Caves. Saw some bison.
Bison,
And went to
Sundance,
Sundance.
Wyoming, Devil's
Wyoming.
Tower, America.
I mean, we hit a few cool places and ended up back in Denver.
That's Denver. Denver.